It's time to mix drinks and change lives. That's right, from the absolutely fantastic VA-11 HALL-A Vallhalla Cyberpunk Bartender action game comes Jill Stingray and her cat Foray. Nendoroid number 1970, and honestly, let's just admire this box. This looks absolutely fantastic and super reflective in my room. So we have a very cyberpunk actiony kind of, well, box, and it just looks fantastic. Look at all those little cute 8-bit cyberpunk things. Wow. And of course we have all of the usual little pictures of what you can do with Jill on the side. I'm going to be perfectly honest, as soon as I knew that this figure was coming out, I absolutely had to buy it. VA-11 HALL-A Cyberpunk Bartender Action, otherwise known as Vallhalla, is a booze 'em up about waifus, technology and post-dystopia life, and is an indie title that I fell in love with on sight. Harken back to the classical era of cyberpunk media, you play as a bartender in a dive bar trying to make ends meet while characters tell you their life stories of life in dystopia. You have the ability to mix drinks and potentially change the narrative. A depressed character may ask for something relaxing, and you have the option to do that. Or you can add a touch of alcohol to give them the kick that they may, well, sorely need. The game is absolutely fantastic visually, and honestly, it's one of those titles that just works as a game. The soundtrack is up there with the greats, and it's one of the only games that is actively recommended to get a drink and relax yourself when playing. This game was so good I bought it 3 times, on Steam on launch, while also on the Vita and the Switch when they released. But let's get back to the Nendoroid, shall we? So what can I say about Jill Stingray? And honestly, she's fine. Now, at first I kind of felt, oh, you know what? Compared to, for example, the Hololive girls, there's not really much going on with Jill. She's got a pretty plain design in terms of, well, design. Doesn't have as many colours that pop out, but the more I realised it, yeah, it's hard to complain about something that is pretty accurate to the original design. So let's have a little bit of a closer look. Jill, well, she comes with a traditional bartender outfit, and yeah, she looks rather nice for it. We start off at the bottom. She's got shoes, stockings that moves up into a skirt, and yeah, the design is pretty darn plain. The jacket, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, it's the same colour as the skirt. No coloured buttons, but that is the same as the original design. Originally I thought, oh, they could have released coloured in the buttons, but yeah, when I looked at it I was like, yeah, that's the design. And sleeves with arms that can be, well, removed, as to be expected. The face is really what sets it for me. I really like the kind of stern yet kind of solemn looking face on this expression, and I really like the fact that the hair just looks really darn nice. There's not really any gradients, but yeah, I don't know, there's something about it that looks really nice in the light. She comes with pigtails that can be removed. I did have a bit of a worry because I actually thought that I snapped this pigtail off, but fortunately not. And as we go around the back, yeah, it's pretty much as to be expected. You know what? At the end of the day, I'm kind of saying, oh yeah, she looks pretty generic, but you know what? She looks exactly as the character was designed, and sometimes that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. I really like her red eyes. They really make her stand out. And of course, she comes with her cat, Foria, who in the game she often has one-sided conversations with when she's at home relaxing. Now let's have a look at some of the other optional parts we can change her into, shall we? Next we have a pretty iconic pose, which is Jill smoking. Now one of the things I do like about Jill is that she's very businesslike when it comes to everything with her job. And then you kind of go back to her personal life and you can see that she is quite a bit of a goofball when it comes to things. It's a really nice thing that kind of makes you appreciate the character even more. And I'm really happy that they did give her a smoking version, just so you can kind of reenact some of the more iconic imagery. And here we have her mixing drinks and changing lives. Probably from some guy who's came to the bar and just went, what do you think I like? By giving some kind of weird and vague response. I love this game. I love how you can just give them whatever you want to give them, and sometimes they get very angry or potentially even more drunk. I really like this one. I kind of feel this is probably what I'm going to end up displaying it as. And one of the things that's very interesting is that you actually only get like one or two alternative arms, so it feels very much kind of like, oh yeah, everything's being used by the same like pairs of arms and everything, but hey, it works. And now we have a more flustered version of Jill. And yeah, I really like this face. However, the only thing I kind of have an issue with is that you could also use this as the Jill getting drunk scene. And you don't get any beer or any kind of cans or any kind of drink to go with her that she looks like she's trying to drink it. It's a little bit of a missed opportunity. And kind of get that they're trying to do the whole thing with Foria where she's getting frustrated by what he's kind of seeing. But yeah, I don't know, it's a nice one, but I just don't feel like we're getting enough accessories to make it work. And here we have Jill with, well, a happy blushing face and a glass of some kind of alcohol. They all had weird names, I can't remember. Pink Vomit or whatever it was called. Pink Sunshine, I think one was called. It's been a while since I've played it. I really like this face. It's a really cute blushing one. And you can imagine it with Jill and her boss, or Jill with just with that regular that she just kind of really has a friendship with. It's a nice contrast to the solemn, serious looking face that we get before, and I really like it. It just looks really cute. Jill Stingray is a really nice Nendoroid. I'm really happy that this exists, and honestly, a few years ago when they first announced it, I was incredibly surprised. Just the fact that they were going to do what I felt was quite an obscure series. She's pretty plain, but very accurate to the character. Of course, this is what she wears on in the series, in the game, so it's based on the actual designs. She doesn't pop out quite as much as the Hololive girl does, but I'm really impressed with how she looks. While there's a few little niggles that I'm not really a huge fan of, for example the blushing face not having the a beer can or anything like that, the rest of it is what you would expect, and I really like it. I really got now the image of her serving drinks and changing lives to maybe some of the Hololive girls, or perhaps the laid back camp girls, getting them all drunk. What do you think of Jill? And if you do like Jill, it might be worth pointing out that the Goodsmile have actually just announced that they are going to also release Dorothy, also from Vallhalla. So yes, if you want your cyborg, stripper, prostitute, that's going to be a fun thing for you. Let me know what you guys think of this character. Do you like her? Or has this particular figure perhaps made you look at the game? Go check out the game if you haven't already. And for now, I will see you in the next chapter. Goodbye.